Welcome to Unapologetically You, an authentic journey to healing.
The podcast where we dive deep into the raw, real, and transformative process of embracing your true self.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ashley. Join us as we share stories, insights, and practical wisdom to help you heal, grow, and live unapologetically.
Whether you're on your own healing journey or simply seeking inspiration, this space is all about embracing authenticity without fear or shame.
It's time to make a move from your relationship
to a relation shift.
Welcome back to Unapologetically You, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects.
We could go on for days.
This may be
this is like an endless.
Three-parter.
And I think we need to continue and have people on the show
Yes.
that also hear their viewpoints.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
Because this is a hot topic, especially in this day and age.
Yeah. So our topic is dating, modern day dating.
And navigating.
And navigating.
Yes. We're going to try to give you a little bit of a map.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you can relate, if you're in the dating world, hopefully we say some things that either help you.
The tips we're going to give is more for like over 30,
Yeah, I mean, if
35.
you're in your 20s and you're dating and you're dating online, get off of it because first of all, you're in your 20s and what are you doing? You have so much more time to be dating.
That's how they meet nowadays, though.
That's insane to me.
They're all on like the.
Yeah, I think that's stupid.
I think they're mainly on like Tinder and those kind of sites.
That's
but
insane. Judge like a severe introvert that you're doing. But I don't, in my 20s, I was out and about.
Ashley was not a severe introvert.
No, I was.
She was doing her thing.
Yeah. Meet and greet. Like,
I am Ashley.
Here where I wanted to jump into I dated for relationships. I didn't just date to have fun. And like somehow life has switched and now I'm in my 40s dating. It's a lot different than when I was in my 20s dating because we didn't have the online dating like they do today.
Right. No. And I wouldn't have even thought of not in my 20s. No.
Nope.
I don't know. Like if my friends were dating somebody, I'd meet that person's friends. You know, that happened a lot.
Yeah, I met a lot of
one of my friends had a boyfriend, they'd be like, "Oh, you gotta come out with me. You gotta meet his friends." And that's how I feel like I met so many people in my 20s through other people, and vice versa. My friends had met people through me that had just got done saying when we were back in our 20s, we're hanging out with small groups of people. Yeah. So your friends is boyfriend's friends.
Yes.
And, you know, you would meet people who were
at
local.
Weddings, but even like at weddings.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Just random. Gosh, I remember like I had met people at like a grocery store.
Yeah. I have never, I've heard of it, but I have never had the privilege of meeting someone at the grocery store. I'm shopping at the wrong place.
Although, I mean, again, back then, if a man had approached you at a grocery store, you didn't really think as much. Like today, if a guy was following you to your car and was like, "Hey, I think you're good looking,"
I'm like, "Oh, you're going to traffic me?"
I mean, I think you would be a little like skeptic.
I would be scared
because people just don't do that as much anymore.
No.
It's because again, the online dating I think has changed a lot of the in-person meeting for people.
Well, I think because through my 20s, like you said, someone was following me in the grocery store, I'd be like, "Hey."
Right. You'd be like, what does this person want? But it'd be funny. It wouldn't be like scary.
No, it would be like, "Oh, what type of apples are you getting?" Now I'd be like, "Get the fuck away from my apples."
So I was talking to one of my friends today, changing the subject,
please.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody's going to know who we are and see us in the grocery store and be like, "I am not talking to you. I'm not talking to you."
I am staying away from the app.
Me too.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, I was talking to a guy who was on online dating.
Okay.
And I said to him, "What do you feel about online dating?" And he's like, "Dumpster fire."
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have a bad view of it. But I think it's the way that you are viewing and using online dating, right?
Yeah.
So for myself, I've done online dating. I'm not on any of the dating sites right now.
Yeah.
I look at it like I'm open to meeting people. I do like meeting new people. I love like new experiences. Yep. However, though, my expectations aren't very high when I go on. So when I go on, I'm not saying I'm definitely going to meet the next guy I'm going to be in a relationship with. Or I go on open. And because a lot of people have met through online dating and have had significant relationships. So it does.
I've seen it work.
Yeah. And I had met somebody in the past and had a significant relationship. It didn't work, but I can honestly say, like, normal person. You know what I mean? Like someone where if I had met organically, we would have still had gotten together.
Yeah. Okay. So you would have still liked that person outside of
100% outside of online dating. It would have been someone I would have chosen organically if we would have met. So it was cool because we met and we probably would have never met because we live in different towns. And so going back to what we kind of started with before, I think it was more local and you did kind of just stick around your circle. And
it's expanded more.
So you're always going to meet more weirdos. No, but I mean, so there are more stories to tell.
Yeah, there are.
The guy today told me like dumpster fire when I think online dating. But I don't know about you. Like I do not meet somebody in person unless I like have a phone call or a video
the conversation first.
Because to me, like I want to kind of see the vibe.
Yeah.
And I think that tells you a lot about a person.
I was talking to a guy once and he was like, no, we need to meet right away. I'm like, no. I would rather get to know you talking and have conversations and talk on the phone than just meet and come face to face and be like, absolutely not. And he said his view on it was interesting because he said, why would I want to put the time and effort into someone and talking to them and like them, and then I see them, and then I don't like them because I'm not attracted to them? And I'm like, I got that point too.
I'm with him though. Like yes. So for me, if I see that's all a guy does is like just talk back and forth and doesn't set up a date, red flag. Like no, like to me, I'm like, dude, time waster. Yeah. Like honestly, for me, I'm like, I'm not even gonna talk with this guy.
You could plan a date out.
Yes.
I think
now again, if we do a video call and then we plan a date, or if it's somebody in our hometown and they say, hey, let's meet for coffee or let's meet for dinner, whatever. I don't do dinner though when I first meet somebody. That's too long.
You know what?
I'll do a drink. I'll do coffee.
Now.
I'm not gonna get roped into dinner.
I'm not
lunch.
getting roped into watching someone fucking eat their food, and it's gross.
Yeah, like I'm not I'm not getting trapped that
Learn
long. I need
my
to see if we vibe.
But I don't know. You can tell a lot by the way someone eats.
True. And I get being in our 40s, we don't need a lot of time initially when we first meet somebody.
I think you kind of know
to
that
if
vibe
the vibe's
is
there, if the connection's there, if it is somebody you'd want to move forward with. Then I think once you initially meet, then I think if it's somebody cool and you want to get to know better,
then
plan a long date or plan.
Yes.
There's been I love hiking and I love nature.
So
but
when you say that, I'm afraid my fear is
I'm not
that
going hiking with you if I don't.
Okay, right? Because I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm not going in the woods with
you.
Actually,
I met this guy online. Like, we're going hiking. I mean,
like, Jenny.
Yeah, like you got to be safe about it too. You got to have
now I have to go hiking too, about 5 feet behind you, so I can make sure he doesn't
like
kill
the stalker
you.
in the grocery store. Right. Dating can attract weirdos and people that don't have good intentions.
Yes. Yeah. So public place. First of all.
Yes.
And it does, again, not a long date.
Video call or phone call before you
to
even
make sure
meet.
It's a legit person.
Absolutely.
You're not
because even the phone call or a video call, I think you'll get the vibe on the person.
Yeah.
A little bit about their personality. You'll know a little bit more about their personality.
Get to know them a little more before you're actually going to go see them in person.
Yes.
But then when you do, I don't think there's anything wrong with, I guess be careful if you're getting a drink so you don't get roofie. Be aware of your drink.
I'd be a little bit aware too.
Yeah. Like do something, like meet for coffee or... So you're not getting... I've done all of this wrong, by the way. I have gone to dinner. I have gone and
drinks
had drinks
before. But again, like public place.
Yeah.
You're sitting at the bar. Like we're not like nestled in like a secluded corner.
Tell somebody where you're going.
The powder in.
We watched too many movies. Too much. I've had an absolutely wonderful date where it was an all-day date and it was great. That's not always going to be the case.
All day is a big commitment. It is.
Yeah, it was a very big commitment. But thank God there was a connection there, and it was an amazing date. So I'm like, ooh, that could have went really bad. But I think I think
Could have been in the river.
yeah,
We might not have been sitting here.
I know. There would be no podcast.
I mean, we're totally kidding. Like,
No, I know,
that's like
but
a little extreme.
I know. So, in all kidding like aside, make sure you tell someone where you're going. Make sure it's a public place. Make sure you've done the phone call or FaceTime prior. You've done your research on the person. Like, if you've met them through Facebook, check their Facebook. Like, everybody puts their life on Facebook
online
now.
dating, I think it is smart to even connect through social media.
Absolutely.
Because social media does give you a little bit of a better glimpse into somebody's life, their hobbies, maybe some habits they may have.
Yes. Yeah, and again, you're not seeing, like, on your dating sites and you're putting pictures, it's your best picture. Like,
it is.
You're putting, like, you're picking and choosing. If you could see somebody's social media outside of that, then, I mean, that's happened to me before. I'm like, oh, they're cute. And first thing I always ask is share your social media. And so I get on there. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, this person is nothing. So I remember I was just like, done, not responding. And they're like, oh, guess you saw something you didn't like. Yes, I fucking did. Like, you were awful. It's going to be bad.
This was a train wreck topic. That's all I can say.
Great.
So a guy I know. Oh my God. So somebody I know, he's a guy, was telling me that a girl that he's friends with.
Okay.
She is always complaining that she will go on these dates with men.
Oh, no. Does she not understand?
She's always complaining that she goes on these dates with men and none of them find her attractive. Like, she doesn't feel they find her attractive.
Okay.
Well, when he had asked her, like, hey, let me look at your profile. Let me see, like, maybe what you're putting up, because he's a man.
Let me see what you're putting out there.
Who gives you better advice? And obviously a man,
I love
right?
asking a man for feedback.
So he told me he was, like, checking out her profile on the dating sites. And he's like, every picture she had, I think she only had like 2 pictures, which what do they allow you, up to 5 or something? So she only had a couple pictures, and each picture, the 2 pictures she had, she was sitting down, and
I already know what you're gonna say. We are not judging in any way.
She was sitting down, and she, looked like she was thin. But here, she is she's a heavier woman.
Catfish people.
Here, she's a heavier woman. Well, the thing is, she's wasting her time.
Absolutely.
She's wasting the man's time.
Yep.
Truly. And I don't think she's doing herself a disservice, because there are a lot of men who like heavy women.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So why wouldn't you want to
show
attract
your body
that to you?
Attract somebody that's going to authentically be in to you.
Yeah, and we're not laughing because we're assholes.
Because it's sad, because he said she's disappointed. She hates online dating. But I can see why she hates online dating. But she's representing herself as almost as somebody different.
Yeah, which means she's not comfortable with who she is. She doesn't like herself or secure enough in herself to post who she really is and see what she attracts from there.
Right.
And that goes back to the absolute core of what we talk about on this show is you have to be unapologetically you.
Yes.
If you are 350 pounds,
Yeah.
if you're sloppy or not,
Right.
whatever. Like,
Whatever.
own it, embrace it. If that's how you want to live,
you don't
if that's
wear
how you want to
makeup
be.
generally.
Yeah,
Let's say
I don't.
If you're somebody that doesn't wear makeup, I could see having like maybe one picture where you have makeup on, but then you shouldn't have every picture all made up if you're someone that really doesn't fix yourself up, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like if you're not a makeup jewelry person, don't put these pictures on there where like you look like you,
every one of them.
Yeah, that you
mix it up a bit.
Do yourself up every time you go to the grocery store, because that's what somebody is expecting to meet.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with being heavier. There's nothing wrong with not wearing makeup. There's nothing wrong if you want to wake up with bedhead every day.
Whatever.
I don't give a shit. You're going to attract, somebody finds that attractive.
Absolutely. But I think same with men. But I feel like with men, they don't do that as much with their photos.
They don't know how. Okay? They don't know how. I mean, they are living, and men, I feel like, are more secure than, they don't care. They're like, here I am.
But that's so good, right? Because again, you want to see
Yeah.
Like the authentic person. The only thing I think men maybe do on dating sites is keep pictures of where they're younger. Like change them up. If you're 50 and you have pictures of you at 40,
I don't want to see that.
I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah. I was talking to this guy and he was telling me I always like to hear people's catfish stories. And he was saying that he was talking to this woman and he likes to date older women and younger women. So he has like a range.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What's he looking for? Like in these women?
It's a connection. And his belief is that you can connect with people regardless of their age. I think that's also shit. We'll have to talk about that. Because
what does he say?
That you can connect and relate to someone on any age, and that is bullshit.
Well, I mean, I think within a 10-year range.
Yeah, if there's somebody 20 years younger than me, I have nothing in common with you, and I never will.
Same.
Because life happens. So much life happens in there. You might be able to relate on this surface level of attraction or wanting to have fun or whatever it may be, but when it comes down to important things that life has taught you, you're not connecting with somebody.
Lifestyle means a lot where you are in life. Like I think between give or take the 10 years is okay as long as you're in the same place in your life.
Yeah.
I dated a guy, he was 13 years older.
Yep.
And I feel like when it was just him and I, it was great. Like we had fun and we had a good time.
Yes.
However, though, like his kids were grown, my kids are little.
Yeah.
So right there, it was hard because our lifestyles were different. Nothing against them. It's just we came from a different place in our lives at that point that it didn't work.
Yeah.
So,
Rare.
I think that's
It
rare.
Can
it
happen.
can happen, but I think it's rare.
It's rare. It's not the norm, and I think whatever. I'm not sure what he was looking for, but he had a range. And he was talking to someone who was 47, and he was I think he said he was in his 30s at the time.
Okay. How did that work for him?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So they had met online.
Okay.
So then that they were talking on the phone. They had many conversations on the phone before actually meeting. The thing and the pictures online that were posted on the profile were great. But when she would send him pictures outside of those, it was a lot of times her face was covered. So he said he kind of thought something was weird about it, but didn't really
covered. How was her face covered?
Like it would always be it would be the position, like looking away or kind of like
oh, that's sus. Like I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they finally agreed to go out on a date, and he got there before her, and he's sitting down and she walks in and he turns around and she did not look like the pictures that she had posted.
At all?
At all. And
at all. Like it isn't even like she looked older.
Looked older. Like had aged like 30 years. Hair was very thin. He said she had
that's deceitful on her
he was
part.
Pissed. And he was honest, but he goes, I was so angry because he had driven an hour to meet her. She looked nothing. And again, it's not that
she's doing herself a disservice. Yeah, truly.
And so he said he tried to sit there, but he was so angry that like she had misled him. Like she said she was 47. He said she looked like she was 70. Like that's how much there was like a difference. And so he said like 20 minutes
she wasn't
into
even 47.
Probably not. Probably
not.
I
mean, if she's lying, if she was that deceitful about her appearance, she might have even
probably
been lying
her
about
age
the age
too.
Yeah.
So he said he just cut it short and was like, he blocked her as soon as he got out in the driveway and in his car.
Like, he wasn't playing.
No. So then she started calling him from like unavailable numbers and leaving him messages from like, you're so rude. You're such an asshole. This too. Like you come in with these expectations and you have these great conversations.
And then she's going to take it a step further and keep trying to call him. Like if he didn't want you, why are you bothering with? I mean,
here's the thing. If she had just been who she was and honest about her pictures, they wouldn't have even gotten to that point where she would have felt so offended.
Right.
She would have been on a date with somebody that accepted that she was older than what she was like I don't know.
And again, somebody that is attracted to her, like you're saying, like an older man or someone. And I also think on a dating site, it's hard to capture somebody's essence and energy, right?
Yeah.
So until you meet them, like as I said, I haven't met a lot of people off the dating sites because I try to cipher ahead of time.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, only a select few that is like, okay, I'll meet this person. But there's been times where I've met somebody and I'm like, wow, you know what? Like I like them more than I thought I would have. But then there's been times where I've met, men, and it's like, I thought I would have liked him more.
Yeah.
But the energy, like the vibe.
Once you got in front of them.
That's important.
Again, have the conversations. If that's initially there, then meet and see then if that energy and vibe is there.
Don't waste your time. I think get on a video call. If you don't feel comfortable like just meeting right away, then at least get on a video call.
Yeah, video call.
But at least you kind of get a better idea of somebody. I know, I'm not.
Because it's such a hard, I don't know. I'm more of a people person, and I feel like the video calls don't always do people justice, but it is enough to understand, if you can just bear looking at them.
Exactly. And again, kind of, I think it gives you a little bit of an idea of their personality.
Yeah.
I think number one, always trust your instincts. Anytime I've gotten the instinct of, well, I don't know, I don't really think I'd be into this person, but I met anyway, I was right.
Yeah, you were disappointed. Yeah,
because I knew. I'm like, I should have just listened to my instinct. I knew I really wouldn't connect with that person. Yeah. So I think the first thing, listen to your instincts. If you're not excited about a date or meeting someone, I'm going to tell you it's a no.
Yeah. I think if you're going into it where you're like,
we're busy people. Most people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, busy.
Yeah. If it's not there, it's not there. Even if it's not somebody online, but it's somebody organically that you've met. If it's not there, here's the big thing that I want to talk about, because I think that people make this mistake in dating, is you go into dating with expectations. You go into the first date planning your wedding with this person. Yeah. We have all done it. I think women do it more so than men. But when we are walking into dating someone, we are 10 steps ahead of, am I going to marry this person? Where are we going to live? Oh my God, will they like my children? And it's like,
and men are like,
whoa,
thinking are we going to be in,
are we going to have sex together tonight? I mean, that's what they're thinking. And we're over here planning our wedding like idiots. So it's like, if you have to drop expectations, especially nowadays, going into dating someone, and just go into it as, I'm going to get to know this person, and I'm either going to like them or I'm not. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then leave it simple as that. I'm just going into getting to know someone.
And I will just take some time to slow down before a date and, do some deep breathing and go into the date in a calm space.
Like you're meeting a friend.
Because I feel like when you are, I just think if you're rushing around all day and you had a stressful day and now you go into a date, you take that stress into the date with you.
You're nervous, you're not yourself.
And now if the date doesn't go good, now you have all that other stress and you're more, how do I want to put it? You're just more upset or more stressed out. Where I think prior to going into a date, a pre-date ritual of slowing down, doing some deep breathing, putting on an outfit you love that you feel good in, feel sexy in, go on the date, have fun, just be open. Yeah. Keep it lighthearted. I don't think you need to bring all the, where's this going? What's going to happen?
Am I going to like this person? Are they going to like me?
Let it unfold naturally.
Well, now, I think about when we go out, Janet, if you can go out with the expectations that you do with your friends of we're going to go have drinks and a good dinner and have a good time and laugh, and there's nothing else, if you can approach it the way you would with your friend, and there's no expectations for anything coming out of that.
Be
we can start
and enjoy the experience. And I feel and I love meeting new people.
Yes.
I love hearing people's stories and their viewpoints. And so even if it's somebody where I don't feel like we are vibing or connecting, it's still I feel like I still got something out of it, right? I don't ever walk away thinking why'd I waste my time?
Well, that's the difference.
It does go back to, though, is I usually know before I know. So before I go into the date, if I'm not really excited about it now, with as busy as I am between my kids and work and this, and now I'm just you know what? If I'm not excited about it, I'm not going.
Well, I'm hoping to learn more about what I like and what I don't like, and what I want to start looking for in a partner. So when I'm going on dates now, I'm looking at them oh yeah, I don't like that about that person, or I don't think that I'd want to be with somebody that was like that. And here are things that I didn't know prior because I dated to just be in relationships. So I didn't take time getting to understand, like, what's the type of person that I like? What are my boundaries? What am I willing to accept? I just went in, if it was great right from the beginning, I'm like, oh, let's be in a relationship. And I think now it's more like, okay, like this person has these characteristics that I like, but I'm not willing to like cross my boundaries on this other stuff. So I'm going to take the things that I like and look for that now in somebody. Right. And like, it's allowing me to figure out what type of person I actually am attracted to.
And I think you learn a lot about yourself. In the process of dating.
Yes.
And again, you're dressing up, you're going out, you're having fun, new experiences.
Yeah.
Like dating, I don't know. I think it's fun. I feel like a lot of people do not. So for those that aren't, but I'm an extrovert, kind of, you know what I'm somebody where I love going out and having fun and new experiences. But for people who are not as extroverted, then I would say do the video call, get to kind of do some vetting because you don't want to be disappointed. And before you go into the date, make sure you are taking time to slow down. Don't just rush from work because when you're rushing around and then you go into a date, you also bring all that energy with you of the stress and
shit. You bring your shit into it. And
you want to go open mind, open heart.
And to go so deep. When you first start dating someone,
you don't lighthearted, the fun.
Yeah, you don't have to get into your life story, your exes, or what are your hopes and dreams. Like, we don't need to get into all that shit right now.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Again.
Uh-oh.
When you first start dating somebody, I don't think you need to get into all your business. Like, I mean, come on. No, don't be telling it.
I don't want to know your family secrets. I don't want to know.
Don't let the skeletons out of the closet on the first date, second, or third.
Sometimes it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, get to know somebody. For me, I don't know. For me, I have to know somebody a while to really open up about different things in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want like the basic conversation of what's your favorite color and what's your favorite music.
But I think it's okay to have some depth to the conversation.
Yeah. But just have conversation.
Yeah. Like, like your ex-girlfriend, like, beat you up. And I mean, I don't want to know that when I first get to know you.
Yeah. Like, we don't need to go into all of that. Like, I guess like if you're talking about something else and you have a funny story and it's like you can connect it, great. But don't start right off of like, this is why I'm single.
Let things unfold. Again, let that getting to know each other unfold organically.
Here's the thing. If you met someone organically you're out with your friends, you're out of bar.
Yeah, I love it. You're right.
And you start talking to them. You aren't diving into your past organically right away. You are just like, what are you doing here tonight? Oh, how'd you like?
And maybe you'll have a little depth, but you're not talking about your past. You're not.
No.
Like for me, it would be a turnoff to be with someone that wasn't open. I need a guy that's open.
Yeah.
So I do want somebody that allows themselves to be vulnerable and open. But if he's oversharing on the first 2-3 days, I would think that wouldn't seem.
No, I think like there's a happy medium that you have to find there. Like share, but keep it like a little mystery.
And the more you connect, I think then that's when the sharing comes in comes out naturally.
How do you feel about effort in that first time of dating when you're talking to someone and whether they're showing interest in effort? Do you think that's important, or do you look at it as, well, you're just talking on the phone or you've just had one date, so there has to be a little bit of not showing you're so into somebody?
See, I think that's gamey.
It is gamey.
Yeah, no, I think it's, but I think a lot of people do it.
It's a game. Yeah.
It would be so if I go on a date with a guy and he, let's say, waited a week to call me. Mm-hmm. I would
no
say
text,
no. For me, I would think no. I don't think the consistency was really there.
Yeah.
Into somebody, I do think there's
it's almost
a flow.
Natural that you would want to.
Flow,
yeah.
Natural consistency, and I think you really don't need to think about it. I think if you have to, as a woman or a man, think, well, does this person really like me? Are they into me? and it constantly comes up, then I don't know.
If there's question and concern, then,
especially if the question and concern is consistently, then I got to say that's not the right person.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about time that you give someone that you're dating, and this woman was saying that she had dated someone very famous who was extremely busy. Like, she was saying this person had no time, but never missed communicating throughout the day with her. Not a beat. And she goes, if you could say someone didn't have time, they were busy, it was this man, because he was just all over the place. So she was like, from that point on, and the relationship didn't work, whatever. She's like, but for anyone to tell me afterward, I'm just busy, or I didn't have time today, or the day got away from me, she was like, I called bullshit right away, because I had dated someone that I knew was way busier than this person and found the time. Right. And I think that's, most people are like, oh my God, you think that you need a text, or you think that you need a call. It's like, no, I don't need it. Right. I'm good. And if that's not who you are, great. Right. But if you like me, if you want to communicate with me, then you'll find a way to do it. Right. I'm not going to beg you for it, but you'll find a way to do it.
And I feel like, I mean, I think back to different men that I've been in relationships with, and I feel like if I was to look back, every one of those men definitely were consistent communicators in the beginning. Kind of what we're saying. Yeah. In the beginning, they never missed a beat. Yeah. And I feel like that's what made me fall for them even more. Guys that are gamey, I'm sorry, like, for me, turn off. Boys, not men. I mean, that's how I view them. I view them boys. I want a man. Like, truly, I want a man. I want a guy that takes initiative. Yeah. Because, I don't know, that's how I feel safe with someone. That's how I connect more with someone. And that's what makes me more into someone. Yeah. If you are wishy-washy, and maybe one day I hear from you, a couple days later, you know, you kind of go missing, that to me that screams like, boy, immature, not someone I want.
Well, right, and like, and you can do that. You can
I don't. Like, it's just not. But that's not my flow.
Yeah, if that's not your, like you said, if that's not your flow, if that's not how you connect with someone, then drop it. Right. Don't go chasing. Right. Don't go expecting they're going to change, because they're not. Right. That is how they communicate. That is what they do. Right. So this is where I was saying, learning more of your boundaries and sticking to them.
Yeah, and what's pleasing to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, this doesn't work for me. I like you, but it doesn't work for me. So I got to go. Because here's the thing. You're going to find yourself in that relationship where other things are not going to work for you. It's not, it's going to be a dead end. You're opening up the door to some disappointment.
I don't know. I think, to me, inconsistency, red flag.
Yeah. Something I do believe is fact, and it has been researched, is that men are known, they're not chasers, but they are, I'm trying to think of the word,
pursuers?
Pursuers. So men are born to pursue. So if a man is not pursuing you, he doesn't want you. Yeah. Because they will pursue who they want every single time. I need like an aggressive.
Right. So when a guy.
Yeah. I need like.
I don't know about aggressive.
I can't. Not that kind of aggressive.
Men are afraid of rejection, so they won't put themselves out there. But I can't be with someone that won't put themselves out there.
Yeah, just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah. Someone's going to tell you, no, you're not the one for me.
Okay, so let's bring this up. Yeah. How do you feel about a woman pursuing a man? Like, I know I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. That's why, for me, I like a man to lead. That's why.
In some instances, I'm more like, if I like somebody, if I really like somebody, and I really want to approach them or go out with them. Okay. If I don't make a first move, if I don't say anything and I'm over here sitting waiting for them to, then I feel like I'm being gamey. Because I'm not.
If you're waiting, then
I'm not sitting here living like. I'll just be very like, I like you. I want to go out with you. Now, before, no, I would have been like, heck no. Like, you can approach me. As I'm getting older, though, and I'm looking at it as like, I see now, like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Right. They're going to take rejection personally, that it's easy for me to just be honest that I like someone and that I want to hang out with them. Now, I won't chase. I'm not going to, I may reach out initially. And again, I think that's boundaries. So I may reach out initially, but I will not pursue a man. I strongly believe it has to be the other way around.
So I'm going to ask you this. Anytime you have reached out to a man first, have you found that it has worked for you? Where you can honestly say, like, no, I feel like it actually worked. This is someone I ended up with, or somebody.
No, and here's why. Because me reaching out first is a new thing. I would have never done that in the past.
Okay.
And that, me not doing that in the past, never fucking worked out. Okay? I'm single. So I'm trying to do
Something new.
I'm trying to, break my patterns of the shit that I would have done in the past and try something new. Because obviously the past behavior didn't work.
Right.
But again, with boundaries. So I've had great conversations of reaching out first to someone, and then no, it just didn't work out because that connection, that vibe wasn't there.
Right.
But not because I didn't reach out first. They were very welcoming back when I reached out.
Right.
But I haven't entered a relationship with anyone that I've approached first.
So I'm going to go back to then what you're, so like for me, I feel like, let's say there's a guy that I'm interested in. Okay. And as I had kind of said here, I like when a man takes the lead. So if it's a guy that I'm interested in, my first thought process is like, I'm not going to wait for him, but I say, well, you know what? If there is a vibe there on his part, he'll reach out.
Yeah.
If not, honestly, like for me, then I feel like, that wouldn't have been a good fit because again, that starts the pace of my relationship.
Okay, yeah.
Granted, when I am in a relationship or I am into you, I will match you, right? So I'm not looking for somebody to chase me around or anything. If you reach out to me, like if you reach out to me and I'm into you, you're gonna know.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not into you. Like
I love
you're
that
gonna
you
know
said that.
when I like you, when I
energy.
want you, you're gonna know it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not reaching out to you. And if you don't reach out to me, then to me, I'm just like, well, you know what? That's not the right one because someone that would be right for me
is going to
100% because that's the kind of personality they're going to bring,
their
right?
Characteristic of them is to
like
be,
that's part of the characteristic of what I want in a man.
Yeah. I don't
I
or
don't,
passive
no.
or not.
I'm not going to reassure you 24/7.
Yeah, some men want to be pursued. They want to be.
And I just,
like,
I'm not. Those tend to be some gamey men. I mean, from what I have known of men that want to be pursued.
Oh, yeah.
They seem more gamey to me.
Well, it's a ego booster for them.
No thanks.
And they like it. Oh, this person is pursuing me. Like, I must be a big deal. You're not, but just saying. If you are someone that's going to pursue a man, then once you have connected with them, that same energy has to be given back.
Yes.
And then same if you're a man.
Yeah, and if you're a
pursuing
woman, don't play games. Like if you want a guy and he reaches out to you, that is your time.
Let me see if he texts me every morning.
Yeah,
and if he doesn't,
like that's your time to let him get to know who you are as well.
Yeah,
like, truly
match energy.
Yeah,
if who's ever pursuing, if you like the person, then match it back,
and they'll match yours.
Well, I think that's the thing in relationships, whether you're dating or whether you are in a relationship with someone, if you're not matching each other's energy, something's off. So there can't always be somebody that is 100% in and somebody that's like, and I get there's that 80-20 rule. Like sometimes I'm going to be 80% and you're going to be 20.
Well, depending,
And you got to like be able to.
Different things happen in life and
I want to talk real quick about that. Even if you're in a relationship, it's really important to keep dating your partner. I think we've all heard that. Like never start dating.
So even if you're married or you're absolutely,
you can't just stop. You can't just stop having
and
date
mix it up. Like don't be going to the same restaurant
every
it's
Friday night spaghetti night.
Heck
like
no.
what the hell?
Like mix it up. I don't even care if you're married, if you've been together for a long time. I mean, variety's where it's at.
Yeah,
like, mix
have
it
dates
up.
night.
Yeah,
like surprise
fun.
each other.
Go like on little road trips.
Yes, do all the things. Always keep in your mind. A lot of people get complacent.
Do some fun stuff in your house.
Yeah, and you hear. Oh crap.
I mean,
do some fun stuff in your house.
Yeah.
So,
I can think of a few things.
Yeah. Well. As
Moving
the
on.
podcast goes on.
Moving on.
We thought I was the spicy one with the walks of shame, but it seems like Anywho, but if you keep approaching your partner as if you are still dating them, that they are not yours. They are not, like it is not written in stone that they're going to stay with you. There is the possibility that you could lose them or somebody else could come along if you continue to pursue the person that you're with, and have that agreement that like, hey, we're going to introduce new things around the house. We're going to go on dates.
Because you're at home doesn't mean you can't have fun.
Right. Because people are like, well, I have kids, we can't go anywhere. Well, kids go to bed at a certain time, so you can do something. Like there's always something. Make life still exciting like you would if you would just
together, laugh together, be open together. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know a lot of relationships are like, God, what happened after 25 years or after 15?
But it really is a slow breakdown. Yeah. But I think that people aren't as paying attention, and then you're right, and then one day they wake up and they're like, man, we don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But it was really just slowly breaking down.
Yeah.
I think.
And if you
communicate, I think communication is important, but fun. You need fun in a relationship.
I think
I think that's why dating initially and in the beginning is
gives
fun.
You the butterflies
it's fun and you're getting to know each other. But again, you have to keep that fun alive. Open with your partner and share and communicate about your day. And I think being open together is important.
I think communication is a huge thing that people don't.
And
we don't talk
together.
Anymore. Or you see, you're just on your phones. You go to dinner. Yeah. Communication is everything.
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
want
you
to
want to be able to communicate. Well, because that's very important. So, moving along with the dating.
Yeah.
What do you think about having sexual relations?
Oh, I was like, having what?
No, but early on.
Okay,
how do you feel about
Here's the thing. We are,
and I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong.
We are human.
Yep.
We are sexual beings. Made the rules, but I'm going to do what I feel like doing.
Right. Right.
I'm going to do, if I want to sleep with you on the first date, I will sleep with you. If I want to sleep with you and never talk to you again, well, that's what I'm going to do too.
Right.
Or if I decide that I don't want to and you're somebody that I want to get to know more before doing that, I'll do that too. I don't know until that vibe or energy's there. But what I'm not going to do is let anything outside determine what it is that I want to do.
Absolutely.
So
for me, I feel that I wouldn't be able to sleep with somebody on a first date or until I feel comfortable enough to know them.
Yeah.
And it's a me thing.
It's a you thing.
It has nothing to do with them.
Yep.
It's just my comfort level of really sharing my body with somebody, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable enough to do that until we have established a connection. We have established that there isn't anybody else.
Yeah.
Because again, I think so many women, and I do think this is more women than men, get hurt by rushing in physically with a man. For me, I think because I have only ever done that with people I've been in relationships with, I don't know how it would be to not be in a relationship with, but to me that is part of the beauty of it, is all those emotions.
Yeah.
So I don't know, when I think of having sex with somebody and me not being in a relationship with them, I don't feel like it, like for me, I don't feel that it would be something that would fulfill me. I think it would be something that would bring me down. Like in my own mind and heart, I think I would be like, oh, you know what? I'm not there with him. Why did I give him, like, why would I have done that?
Yeah. Yep. And I don't think
there's a right or wrong.
I don't
think it's
either.
our comfort level as a person.
Yes. For you, that is a step in a connection with somebody.
100%. That's a step in a deeper, that is a step when I'm ready to deepen my connection with you. Yeah. That's where I'm going.
And for me,
like on a different
like,
level though.
You're fun.
Right.
This will be fun. Like, let's have it. Like, and again,
but I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, because I love having fun. I'm flirty, but that's where I draw the line, right? Like I'm like,
there's boundaries in sleeping with someone too. So one night stand or first date, Ashley, is a lot different than relationship Ashley when it's in that aspect. Like you're not getting all of me in that if you're just somebody.
Makes sense.
Like yeah. So I don't. It's so funny.
But how do you separate?
Well, I separate my emotions from it. So I don't go into it with emotion. So I'm into it like, oh, we're having a good time. We might have been drinking. We're going to go have sex. And that's all it is.
Got it. Okay.
Where if I like you and I really want to be with you and I'm thinking we're starting to date and be in a relationship, that sleeping experience is a hell of a lot different.
Right. I can't even. Yeah.
Hell of a lot different. But it is the separation of expectations and emotions going into it. It's something that you have to kind of, I don't want to say
you
master.
have to almost mentally prepare.
You do, yeah. So you got to master your
Actually, you'll be holding a class on this.
This is how you go into a one-night stand.
A mastermind.
But it's true. And we have to work at doing that because automatically we want to analyze what we're doing.
So do not have sex with a man and expect something out of it if you're having sex early on. I guess that is my advice to women.
Yeah, don't go into there
If
with
you are
emotions
having
with
sex with a man very early on, I wouldn't expect too much to come out of that.
Yeah. And if you can't do that,
then maybe rethink it. Because again, that is a boundary with your body.
It is. And your mind.
Don't think like, oh, this is what's going to get him to want me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's going to be the case.
I can do that and not come out of it fine. Or I can allow myself to do it and have expectations of it. But I'm in control of that. And if you can't master that control over yourself, of what you're getting into sexually, then don't do it because you are looking for hurt if you're going in with expectations.
Yes.
This just happened to me. Here's a perfect example. There is a guy that I like that I have had one night, random, whatever.
Okay.
And I've been fine with that. But I realized, though, I do like this person and I would pursue a relationship with this person. So having those one-offs or having that relationship anymore without anything coming out of it, I'm not able to do anymore. And I know that and I recognize that. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was very honest. I was like, listen, I like you. And if I keep sleeping with you, I'm going to continue to want more, and we're not on the same page with that, so I'm declining.
So when you said if you're not on the same page, what was his response?
Oh, totally respectful of that. I completely understand, and I would never want to hurt you, and I am not there yet, so I totally respect it. And that was such an honest, and I was really proud of myself because that's not something I would have done in the past. I would have just lined myself up with her and had expectations, and this time I knew myself better to be like, I can't do that. I can't do that. But let me know when we're on the same page and then give me a call and I'll totally do that. So it's like setting a boundary and honoring that.
It is. And honor enough to think what you want to get out of something. Yeah. And you have to be honest. And I think when you're first dating somebody early on, it's also okay to say what you want and what you expect. Because if that's not the person for you, then that's the opportunity for you to see it. Yep. And if you want a relationship, don't act like, oh, well, I'm just here for the fun. Or if you
save yourself a lot of time or heartache.
Yeah, honestly. Be honest. Be authentic. Be honest. Show up as your best self. And don't bring all your dirty laundry
or not, but then you get what you put out there.
Don't be oversharing.
Be honest about what you look like, who you are, what you like, what your boundaries are. And you can't go wrong because somebody at some point is going to match that.
Yes. Have fun. Just don't have high expectations. I feel like whether you meet someone
don't have any expectations.
Yeah, whether you're meeting on a dating site or organically, I don't think it matters. Go into the date, have fun. Yeah. Be flirty. And I think the pre-date, getting yourself prepared for the date is part of it. I agree. Because you don't want to go into a date just rushing from work and being all stressed out. You're going to bring that energy into the date.
Oh, I bring Bridget Jones energy. Like I am shaving my legs in the sink. I'm playing my music. Like I am.
I love it. Right, but you're ready. You're like showing up as like your sexy self. Like here I am.
So there.
The vibe you create before a date is the vibe you're bringing into it.
I agree.
Anything else on dating? Modern day dating, navigating it.
I think we covered.
I do think, though, if you're on a date and a couple things, you see a guy hogging the conversation, just talking about himself the whole time. I do think you
don't be that person either.
Yeah, do not be that person. But I think as a woman, it's okay to interject and talk about yourself. Don't just let a guy go on and talk about himself.
No, don't let somebody railroad the conversation. That's a turnoff. So whether you're a man or you're a woman, be aware of that you have
I agree.
If you
Even
see
women,
somebody
yes.
sitting there and they are gazing off into the distance while you're talking too much.
First dates are for sharing, not
Sharing is caring.
yeah, not like taking over the whole space. Have kids. I personally believe that until you have an established relationship, you should not have that person around your children.
Don't do that. Until
you got to keep that separate.
Yeah, and again, I'm very much for like, well, I'll do what works for me. Hey, God bless you. If you know your kids, if you know your situation, and that doesn't work for you, fine. But I will say I've done it both ways, and honestly, if I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, if we're not going to be doing things together in the future, I don't want you around my kids. I don't even need to introduce you to them. Why? Like, they have their whole lives to meet new people. You don't need to be one of them if you're not going to be around.
Right.
So like I
feel the same.
Yeah. Again, to each their own, but just think about that. Like, you don't need to, you're dating. Your kids don't need to be dating with you. You know, whether you're a man or woman, you know, single mom, single dad, I would get to know the person pretty well. Yeah.
Before
And then do an
I would
event type
invite
thing.
them to
We talked about this
meet
before.
my kids.
Like, do something active or outside of the house for that first meeting. So maybe like sled riding, a movie, or if it's something like a carnival or whatever.
Something neutral.
Yeah, so that like it's don't do the initial meet at home. That's kind of awkward.
Right, yeah. And that's another thing. When you go into a date, be neutral. Don't this guy or this woman is not the person from your past.
Yeah.
It's not the person that broke your heart. This is a new person sitting in front of you. Be mindful of that.
Yeah.
You've been hurt.
Oh,
you
have a
right
tendency
away
to
have a
bring in-
tendency, you know, if it's a woman, you know, talking about men that you know, all men are assholes, or if it's a man saying, well, you know, that's so typical of women.
I was talking to a
No,
guy and he
dude,
goes,
no, this
"I
is a
don't-"
new person.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know if your podcast is going to be man bashing. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
no way.
man bashing? I'm like,
Oh,
I gave
like
you the
men,
impression.
yeah.
I like men.
I'm
I'm not
saying,
bashing
like, as a
anyone.
whole, like, men are great. Like, there's just because
Oh, yeah.
I've had relationships that didn't
I don't
work.
hate all men, yeah.
So what? That has nothing to do with, like, it just, that happens. That's
No.
part of life.
Yeah, like I don't. But this
I've
goes
had
back
good
to what we
experiences
talk
with
about.
men.
Yeah, I've
That's
had
what I'm
great
saying.
experience.
I've had wonderful experience with men. I have guys as friends.
Yes, one of my best friends is a man. I think some of the best
Yeah.
advice I've gotten has
Yeah.
come from him because he sees things in a different perspective. So,
And it's too
I
bad because
think-
men aren't as open and
Yeah.
as outspoken as we are. So sometimes
Yeah,
I even
really good
feel bad
advice.
that they hold a lot in and they aren't as, they do have those deep emotions.
oh
though.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they're there. They're just buried. But we've said in the past, before jumping from one relationship to the next relationship, you really have to heal.
Yeah,
who you-
take time.
You've got to heal. You've got to have a clear understanding of who you are, what your boundaries are.
Yes.
All the things we've talked about in prior shows already, self-love and not comparing, and all of those factors come into place. And if you're entering a relationship and you're unhealthy in an emotional or mental state or still holding on to something, you are inevitably carrying it into that next
Yes.
relationship. It's not going to work.
And if you are somebody who's putting photos up that don't even look like you,
Stop it.
you are literally like too ashamed to show your body or
Yeah.
to show your face, then you know what? Get off the site and do some authenticity work. Because
Somebody will
truly
love
you need
you
some inner work
yeah.
before you get
You gotta
back
love
on the site.
yourself.
Because that just shows that you are not loving yourself enough. And until you really learn to love yourself, have confidence within yourself, show up as your authentic self, you're not going to meet the right person.
No, and it
You're
sounds
going
so
to attract
cliche, but it's the
Yeah,
truth.
right.
It's the truth. If you are not confident in who you are and loving yourself, what you're putting out there is this fake version of you, and you're going to get fake people and a fake love back. So somebody will love you for exactly who you are, all of your flaws.
You're amazing.
Yeah,
And you need to know that about yourself.
Yeah, like I don't like everything about myself.
Nobody
but
does.
the right person's gonna love everything about me.
Absolutely.
And
And we all have
yeah.
insecurities, and,
Yeah.
and I think it's just embracing those insecurities
Yes.
that you have.
I-
It's part of you.
I love all of my flaws. It
Flaws
makes
and all.
me me.
Yes.
You have to be perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
So
All right, on that note,
all right,
happy dating.
Good luck out there.
Yay.
If you have a story you'd like to share, or if there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover on the podcast, we'd love to hear your ideas.
Get in touch with us through email or our social media pages, links below.